We're not here to repeat the headlines. We're here to find out how everyday Americans are pushing back on this administration. Our program is you, the American people, doing what it takes to preserve democracy. This is Resistance Radio. Welcome back, America. This resistance, our resistance, isn't just showing up in cities or courtrooms. It's showing up in the small towns of this country. In this episode, we're headed to Coos Bay, Oregon, where a coastal community is making its voice heard with weekend protests. Our guest today is a first-time protest organizer, someone who decided, no, I'm not just going to stand by and let this happen. All right, Greg, tell us a bit about yourself.
So thanks for having me here today. Grew up all around the U.S. Have had a great experience doing so. I joined the military because of September 11th. That was just a real pivotal day for me. And I worked in crypto and virtual reality and all sorts of fun industries.
So you're working as a rally organizer or a volunteer rally organizer. Have you ever done much work in politics before?
No, this is my first time stepping up to the plate. I just have to do something. It's that time. I can't sit back and watch what's happening happen.
I've had friends say to me, you know, the administration and MAGA, they already know what we think. What's the point of protesting? I think people are missing something here. What's your thoughts on that?
Protests build community. And when you're in an administration that just is trying to tear everybody apart, the community that comes together to stand up and say this isn't right, they then go and have drinks together and they do things together, and we're growing together as a strong community that's going to stand up for one another. So they may not look like they're changing things right now, but they're garnering sentiment, they're building community, and they're making us stronger.
So, and you've seen that where people meet each other at the rallies and then, you know, stay a bit longer and hang out with each other, or how do you see that happening?
Yeah, or they may not stay. Like the whole rally doesn't just move to a bar and then drink, but like we meet up later on at different events and we see each other as we go throughout town and we talk at when we see each other and so we're building friendship, we're supporting each other and we're just growing a strong community and our politicians, when they see thousands and millions of people out there, they listen. It may not change what the protagonists are doing, but it certainly gives some energy to the antagonists.
Give us a rundown of the last 9 months. How did the rallies in Coos Bay develop?
Oh, wow. Well, I came to the party and was like, let's do some rallies. And they were like, if you want to, go for it. So I wanted to, and I went for it. And we tried to figure out how often people wanted to do them. And we kind of tried every other week. And for how often things have been changing, that just seemed to work. It really... Every time something happened, we were right there with the rally and ready to go. So it started off small, just a couple dozen, and as they happened every week, they would almost double in size to have several dozen to hundreds. We had 800 in our first No Kings rally, 1,500 in our second No Kings rally. Just amazing events, lots of wonderful people coming out and showing their solidarity that this isn't right. We stand up for our neighbors and we deserve a better America than this.
Do you guys advertise for your rallies? Like, what kind of efforts do you have to bring people in?
Oh, this is definitely an area we could do better in. We do advertise on our website, the DIMS website, on our email list. We have an indivisible group that advertises. Sometimes we post flyers and memos and like the shopper, but there's definitely more advertising that could be done whenever there's a national rally, and we define this as like who's advertising. If it's locally advertised, then we like it's just the DIMS and the local groups that are advertising. But if it's being advertised by your talk show host and your radio host and all of the newspapers that you read, then or podcasters that you follow, then you really get a group of people that are going to come and participate, and that's wonderful.
So, Greg, behind the scenes, there's got to be some organizing that happens, and it's not like it just everybody shows up and everything's good to go. What did you do before you guys started, doing the rallies?
You just need to advertise to have a rally, like, because you don't have to do anything except advertise, but there's a lot of stuff you could do to make it better. You could get a sound permit so that you can be louder and make some noise. You could get a safety team that goes around and make sure that people aren't interfering with traffic or being involved with each other or blocking businesses. You could also have some concessions so that thirsty people have water or hungry people have a snack while they're there and don't leave just because they have a bit of hunger. And so you could provide signage. A lot of people don't necessarily have a good way to make a sign. And so we have a bunch of different signs that they can choose from to get their point of view. And then we have blank ones so that they can write their own sign if they so choose. And so there's a lot of support services that you can provide to a rally to make it go really well. And that's been the biggest change is as we progress, we add more support services to make it so that the rally's a little bit easier and better for everyone that attends.
In terms of permits, if somebody's getting ready to put on a rally and wants to do it, should they go get a permit?
You should definitely talk to your city and see what's necessary. They will help you. They're very kind, very polite, very nice, and all you have to do is tell them your intent, and they'll tell you what you need. If you're going to do things like close down streets, absolutely you want to get a permit for that, because you got to get the cops involved to put up roadblocks and keep people safe. But if you're just standing on the sidewalk holding up a sign, you shouldn't need a permit anywhere in the U.S. But somewhere in between, they may want just a little signature saying that they're going to make some noise at a certain time. So it really depends on what you're doing. Just go talk to your city council, and they'll be happy. If you're specific, they'll be happy to guide you in the right direction. We have a sound permit, and it allows us to make some sound. We can use amplified sound systems to play music. We can use a microphone to sing. We can use bull horns to chant and siren call. We can use whistles and horns and we can really make a ruckus, and so we do.
So, in terms of security and things going on that, sometimes, there is a concern that a rally could go in a direction you don't want to see happen. And, in talking to you earlier, there was something you called a marshal. Could you tell us a little bit about what those rally marshals are and what their job is to do?
Yeah, the rally marshals are also peacekeepers, are also just safety guides, are also emergency responders, not necessarily like they're the first responders, not the fully trained responders, professional responders. And so the marshals are there just to remind rally goers that, hey, these are rules we need to follow. Hey, these are courtesies we should follow. Hey, these are directions we should follow, and hey, this is the way we're going, not this way, to keep everyone on track, prevent people from misleading the group in a different direction. Or also the marshals could create some distance between protesters and rally goers so that they don't necessarily have to bump heads, and so they're peacekeepers in that sense. And so there's a lot of roles that a marshal can fill, and if you have a big enough rally, it's good to have give each marshal different roles that they can fill. When you have smaller rallies that are more stationary, your marshals can be more peacekeepers and just remind the public of the general laws that they should follow, such as don't stand in the street, please.
So, in terms of picking out a place to hold the rally, what advice do you have for maybe some folks that are thinking, "Hey, we want to get a rally going in our town"? What would you suggest they look for in terms of a space?
Safety and visibility. Those are your key aspects, really. You want to have a rally where the speed limit's low enough that your rally goers aren't going to get hurt for being there. Um, uh, a stoplight is good. Stop sign, fine. That way the traffic slows down and is able to read your signs and your messages. So safety top of mind, and then visibility. Visibility is really high. You like if you are protesting a school board or a city hall and the decision they're about to make, protest in front of the school board or the city hall. If you're protesting the federal government and you're in a small town on the West Coast, then you don't need to be in front of City Hall. You need to be in front of the most people that you can be in that town. And so that's probably going to be some kind of a highway or a large gathering or a congregation of some sorts where you can have people standing there with their signs.
You said you guys do a little bit of advertising and not a ton, but it seems to me the selection spot that you guys picked, where most of the traffic in the county that's coming on the 101 is going to be driving right by the protest, and so the rally itself is an advertisement. And with you guys having it every other week, it's like, what? Hey, if you can't make this one, come out to the next one. And location, location, location. At a rally, I'm going to bet there's also some networking going on. Do you use the rallies to help get messages out to your own people?
Absolutely. It is a great time to talk to people, and it's one of the main things that I do at rallies is just to spread our message, spread our word. We talk about upcoming elections that people may not be aware of or upcoming events in our community. We invite people to we call them community conversations. It's where we have nonpartisan get togethers where people come and they talk about what's bothering them in the community. And a lot lately has been federal talk, just got to say that. And we also find people that are interested in joining some kind of specific group, such as people that are looking for ICE in the neighborhood or wanting to stand by schools and protect kids as they come and go. And so, we get to meet these people and point them in the right direction. And when we hear a desire in the community, we're able to say, hey, let's create this niche so that these people have a way to give their voice through this activity. So the rally has not only been a way for us to spread our message, but for us to listen to the people and create groups that work for them.
All right, this one got me. Wooden coins. What's up with that?
So this area has a rich history with wood, specifically myrtle wood. And during the Great Depression, the banks ran out of money, like a lot of banks around the US. And like a lot of banks, this area started printing wooden coins as currency. And they're still tradable today, although there's none in circulation. And so what we thought of doing is to create some wooden coins and pass them out at the protest for people that came as a memento for joining, for doing something, for standing up for what they believe in, and having a memento that they can hold on to, and collect it like the people would try to collect the wooden coins that used to be made.
So what did you guys put on the coins?
Oh, we put all kinds of local area symbols of tugboats and trees because we live in a bay with a lot of trees. And we also have lighthouses, so we put a bunch of lighthouses on our coins, and we have beautiful bridges along the coast here, so we put bridges on our coins. We're going to try and do some other historical and very noticeable buildings in the area. So we have done several different images, and we have several more planned.
So, if another group wanted to do like a commemorative item, or a coin, did you guys order these online and like send your designs to them, or yeah, how did you get that done?
I'm sure one could order them online. We happen to have a laser engraver, and so we just set it to work.
Very cool. So using the skills and abilities right there already in the community, to make things happen. One last question for those thinking about putting together a rally. What's your advice to them?
Yeah, do it. Don't wait for someone else to do it. We're at a time in our country where you have to step up and step forward and get it done.
Well, Greg, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your journey into protest organizing, and we are absolutely going to need to check back in and see how things are going.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for your time.
Well, here we are at the end of the episode. I hope it inspired and gives you new ideas on how you can be involved in resistance. For me, what really stood out was Greg's point early in the show. This administration is all about division, putting neighbors against each other. Greg's response? Let's find a way to bring people together in community. We hope you've enjoyed the show and hope you'll join us for the next one. Have a story that needs to be told? Send an email to russellspurradio@gmail.com. Support for our show can be sent through Venmo at Resistance Radio. Until next time, remember, you have friends everywhere.
Resistance Radio.